Alright, so to piggyback off my last video, I went on Twitter and I found this about Chuck E. Cheese. Just look at this. Apparently it's an instruction booklet for the either late night employees or regular employees. But look at this. Here, wait, let me read it. It is always important that all Chuck E. Cheese's night shift employees must wear a spare Chuck E. Cheese costume head to avoid any animatronic facial recognition. What the fuck? Because if they spot any humans in the building during post hours, they will automatically detect that person is a criminal trying to tamper with objects from the building, and that won't lead to anything good. What the fuck is this? What is this?
This is why you should never open your door for strangers. In 2013, a woman let her dog out to use the bathroom one more time before bed. After only a few minutes, she starts hearing scratching on her door, which is typically the sound her dog makes when he's ready to come in. But it just seemed way too soon for him to be done being outside. So she decides to look through the peephole to make sure it really is her dog. But what she sees is terrifying. A deranged looking man is right outside her door, staring intently at her door handle, waiting for it to turn open. As she's looking in horror, unable to do anything, he starts scratching at the door as hard as he can, never leaving his gaze from the door handle. She manages to stifle a scream, she backs away and realizes her dog is still outside. So she goes to the side window, but there's no sign of her dog, and so she goes back to the door to see if maybe the man's moved. He hasn't moved, his mouth is open, and he's staring directly at the peephole. Then he turns around and walks away. With the man gone, she discovers her dog unharmed, his leash had just been cut. But that means he had a knife. Let this be a reminder that there really are monsters out there. In 2007, a woman living right near a prison in California got home late one night and went right to bed. Around midnight, she woke up to footsteps on her first floor, assumed it was her roommate, so she goes downstairs to say hi. She yells out to her roommate, who doesn't say anything, and then in walks this giant man who she doesn't recognize. She runs upstairs, jumps in her closet into the crawl space, and hides. As she's helplessly tucked away in this little crawl space, trying not to make any sound, all she hears is this giant man sprinting around her house, running into walls, flipping furniture, and screaming in frustration because he can't find her. Finally, after several hours, she slowly opens the crawl space back up, crawls out, and gets her phone off the nightstand and calls police. As she's telling the police her story, she describes the person who had broken in, and they stop her and say, "Ma'am, go back in the crawl space and stay there. We'll be there as soon as we can." It turned out a 6'11" convicted murderer had escaped the prison and was still on the loose.
He don't like scary movies.
What the fuck? Look! Help! Genuine!
If you see this in your watermelon, call the police. So you're eating a watermelon one day. When you notice it's a little bland, it's also cracked and the seeds are white instead of black. Spit it out right now. Because your watermelon has been pumped full of 4-chlorphenuron, which is a toxic illegal growth hormone, and farmers still sometimes use it in the US.